Okay. Uh, Os, however you'd pronounce this Hungarian death metal band's name, have put out their second full-length album, which is very much a continuation of their sort of leap that they made onto their second album with longer sort of death doom influence pieces that are still rooted in very straightforward and barbaric death metal, which I've equated with early incantation, and I don't necessarily even mean Onward to Golgotha, but sort of the demo days and sort of that era of death metal where a lot of what the Midwest was doing was either very brutal or very simple. And sort of, I'm thinking like 89 to 92, just very straightforward old school death metal, but not really sticking with the sort of leprosy template or whatever else you would expect for the time. Uh, so this has, just developing the sound. It's really very straightforward, even more so than a band like Mephitic Grave, where it's, you know, you're still getting the same effect as the single guitar demos and the rehearsal tape that we first got from the band. Now with two guitars, and maybe sort of like a Crips like crawl to some of the more Death Doom moments, but most of the album is sort of belabored, um, very simple in effect. It really doesn't need to be analyzed. It's a very straightforward death metal record. I found it a really nice thing to pick up and just enjoy. I found the aesthetic of it really appealing. I didn't find it so exceptional that I was just flipping out about how great it was, but there's, I think, a really good study of just straightforward, brutal, sort of morbid death metal feeling that is a little bit bestial. It's a little bit grinding. It's a little bit brutal, but the nuance isn't uh, adventurous. It's just callous. It feels like a death metal album in a way that's hard to explain. So uh, it was worth checking out. I think that around the fifth or sixth listen, I started it's sort of like, well, so what? What's the so what point you get to? And for me, it really just kind of comes down to this being a cool thing to pick up and enjoy. It's the kind of thing I would have grabbed from a record store and just thought, hey, cool, I'm going to go tell some people about it. So that's where I'm at with it. Um, it's a fairly high recommendation for what it is. I think that there's enough depth there. I think that this should encourage people to go back and listen to their first album, which was very underrated, and it is better. I do think the first album was better. So take that into account, per my opinion, and check it out yourself and see what you think.